Never give up. Failure and rejection are only the first step to succeeding. That's Jim Valvano. There are only two options regarding commitment. You're either in or you're out. Pat Riley. Adversity caused some men to break, others to break records. William H. Ward. Do not let what you can do not interfere with what you can do. John Wooden. If it is important to you, you will find a way. If not, you will find an excuse. Ryan Blair. A little background about myself. I'm born and raised in Chicago. Went to De La Salle High School. Went to the National Guard. Went to SIU Carbondale. Became a member of Phi Beta Sigma. Graduated. Got a degree in elementary education, K through 9. And this is how I was able to work with these wonderful men behind us.
So, without further ado, let's introduce the man of the hour, our founder for One Team, One Plan, One Brand, our program instructor for our mentoring program, Mr. Carlos West.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
First, I need my boys up here with me to get through this. My nephews, I need the boys in the program, I need you up here with me. Well, I'm not really a public speaker. I just speak from the heart. So we're gonna have a joyous moment. I might get a little angry. I might cry a little bit, but everything's gonna come from the heart. First, I had these two chairs out for a reason. I'm a Sigma, that's my blue chair. That red chair is my mom's chair. She's a Delta. She's no longer with us, but she's here in spirit. My mom and myself will often have conversations, and we will have it. I would sit in the Sigma chair. She would sit in the Delta chair. Like my brother said, when he called me the bad one, I was a little wild, so my mom had to sort of keep me in order. A little background about myself. I'm born and raised in Chicago. Went to De La Salle High School. Went to the National Guard. Went to SIU Carbondale. Became a member of Phi Beta Sigma. Graduated. Got a degree in elementary education, K through 9. And this is how I was able to work with these wonderful men behind us. I was also a social center director and a basketball and football coach. So basically the program that I have developed is similar to what I did teaching. It's just a combination of teaching, social center, sports. Next, I want to talk about my father. He's here with us in this house. He just can't physically be downstairs with us. So my mom had a degree in education, and I would say about my father, he had a degree in the streets.
Yes, he did.
So people often ask me, where you grew up in Peel Hill, how did you get this side of you? I got this side from my father. So I'm gonna give you a story. My father had a grocery store / bar. So it was two young men named Willie and Rodney. Willie and Rodney, for those of us in Chicago, they were GD folks. So my father had them around. They would clean the store up, beat me up, me and my brother up. But what shocked me the most is they said, your father is our father. So I went to my father. I said, Dad, Willie and Rodney say, you they sons. And he looked at me and he said, they are my sons. Now, they were really heavy gang banging, actually calling it, because we would be at their house and certain people were coming back and forth. So I remember my father bringing them to our house, and I was wondering, like, why they eating dinner? Why they always with us? So as I got older, I realized that my father was trying to show them a different life, what a family looked like, and how to get out of the gang life. And later, they had successful families, successful careers, and they would come back and sit with us, and they still called my father dad. So I guess that's what brought me to doing things to make a change, because I learned this from my mom and my father. Next, I want to talk about, like the men said, I want to talk to the men, particularly the fraternities, different organizations. If we have time to sit at picnics, drink, chase women, smoke weed, gamble, and do all of these activities, we have time to help these boys in the community. This violence will not stop without programs, without men stepping up, neighborhood by neighborhood, house by house, community by community. If the kids know that you care about them, we can change this. But it has to be us as men to change it. These young men are just looking for hope. They are looking for men to step up to care about them. So we have to start fronting like we're actually doing and saying we're doing work. Yes, I said it. Carlos said it. Carlos is a Sigma. So I'm talking to Sigmas, Alphas, Kappas, Qs, Masons, bike clubs. Get out here and do work and help these boys. All these boys need is men to step up to help them. So all we need is the men to take 1 to 10 young men and mentor them. Not BSing them, actually mentoring them and being in their life. This is what these boys need. Next, we're going to talk about how One Team, One Plan, One Brand was founded. I just had a thought one day. With a lot of you guys saw the video, I was just so enraged that a lady in the post office got shot delivering mail. So I just went to the corner and just vented. And I don't know how the video went viral. Somehow it did. And I got a lot of people calling me from different organizations. Los, I want to help. What do you need? So that's how One Team, One Plan, One Brand was started. What it means is it doesn't matter if you're Alpha, Kappa, Q, Sigma, non-Greek, BD, GD, Stone, traveling vice lord, working men in the community, businessmen, women. We need everybody, women, children, community to come together for one thing, to make sure the community is safe and to make sure that we get resources in the community for the children. I'm gonna give you guys a couple of facts. The average black person inherits 0% of what he or she needs. The average Caucasian is born with 87% of what they need. In our community, we have poor education, low-level jobs, food stamps, public housing. Caucasian community, better education, business. They have a culture. So for instance, the Irish know that they're Irish. Italians know they're Italian. So we have to teach. What Mr. Brown had talked about, this is why we need this black literature in the schools, because we want to teach the kids themselves. Once the kids see themselves in the books, they can want to be something. So when I used to teach the kids, I taught at 2 schools, Brighton Park was the Hispanic community. Arthur Ashe was the black community. So both of them would ask me, well, why don't we see ourselves in the book? So the reason a lot of these kids don't want to read because they don't see themselves in the book. If you don't see yourselves, you aren't interested. So a lot of you might say, well, how do kids know rap? If a little kids can sing rap songs and know lyrics, that means that they can comprehend. So when they start reading the literature in the books, they become bored because the literature has nothing to do with themselves. Third grade test scores is how jails are built. Jails are a business. The business is to send our kids to jail. The only way we're going to stop this is we have to start the kids at a young age to get them in programs that they're interested in. I'm going to give you some of these programs that we have. Construction, art, literature, sports programs. So how we're going to do the sports is unique because in basketball, they're not going to just learn basketball. They're going to learn the business of basketball. They're going to learn how to referee, how to coach, how to GM, how to be an athletic trainer, how to be the owner. And then we would do integrated learning. So when I used to teach, for those of you that don't understand integrated learning, that means when you put all the subjects together. So we have a media department. We would have the media department work with the sports department. Everything would work together so the kids would choose what they want to be. So we have over 50 programs. We just have 3 that we are starting now. We would take the kids on field trips. We would take them to the south side, west side, south suburbs, west suburbs, north side, Hyde Park, Gold Coast, downtown, Wrigleyville, Little Village, because we want to expose the kids to as many communities as there are. We also want the kids would tell you the truth about some of these communities. They would tell you what despair means. They would show you what blighted homes look like. They would show you how when you don't have grass cut, the kids would be able to explain to you what they are not getting. Is everybody with us?
Yeah.
In these programs, I would do group discussions, collaborative learning, problem solving, conflict resolution, peer mediation, mentoring, lecturing, financial literacy, community service. Community service is very important because we want to teach the kids at a young age to keep the community clean, and we're going to have the young kids work with the elders. The elders are very important because we got to make sure they are right. They can't do as much as they used to, so I'm going to teach the boys that we will respect and work with the elders. Some of the benefits of the program: teacher self-love, teamwork, multicultural, build self-esteem, increase knowledge of career opportunities, knowledge of trades, entrepreneurship, financial literacy. And some of the programs are leadership, communication, music, photography, art, business, entrepreneurship, job career training, family life, barber, clothing, agriculture, culinary, parks, transportation, childcare, medical, nursing, automotive, flight, hotel, restaurant, architecture, engineering, construction, carpentry, painting, plumbing, electrical, flooring, roofing, welding, concrete, landscaping. Athletic programs: swimming, gymnastics, boxing, wrestling, golf, tennis, track, soccer, bowling, hockey, basketball, football, and baseball. In the sports programs, they will learn the businesses of sports. I would do everything in my power to make sure that these kids learn, go from boys to teens to men. How would you like that, boys? When I say one team, you say one team. I need it louder. One team. One plan. One brand.
One brand.
Say it loud. One team.
One team.
One plan.
One brand.
One brand.
One brand.
Who's number one?
I'm number one.
Who's number one?
I'm number one.
Who's number one?
I'm number one.
So the reason that we have the ones on the back, because we want to teach the kids at a young age that you're number what?
One.
Who's number one?
I'm number one.
Who's number one?
I'm number one.
And for the adults, we wear the number one because we are all equal. Just because I founded the organization, I'm the same as every other member. We are in this together. It does not matter what religion, Catholic, Baptist, Muslim, Protestant, whatever frat, whatever sorority, whatever you are, we are in this together to get the resources to keep the community safe. One team,
One brand.
one plan,
One plan.
one brand.
One brand.
What do we need? Resources. What do we need?
Resources.
What do we need?
Resources.
What do we need?
Resources.
Tell the people what does resources mean. What do resources mean?
Materials for the kids.
What do resources mean?
Materials for the kids.
What does resources mean?
Material for the kids.
What does resources mean?
Material for the kids.
So what we're asking the people to do, for us to run this program, when we go on field trips, for example, we're not going on yellow school buses. We're going on tour buses because we want the kids to feel good about themselves. So these buses, these trips, every time we go on the tour bus, we'll have 56 people on the bus. It's going to be 50 kids, 6 adults. Every time we take a trip, those tour buses, we're going to be out 5 hours. People, this is $1,000 every time we go out. So we need money to make sure that these kids travel in style, look in style. So we're going to have 4 uniforms. One uniform is the t-shirt. The second uniform is going to be a hoodie. The hoodie had a number one. The third will be a polo. The fourth will be a blazer. The reason we have 4 different uniforms is because we want to teach the kids that you have to learn to dress for the occasion. So right now we see our young men don't know how to go to a job interview correctly. So we're going to teach the kids at a young age, we're going to wear the polos, we're going to wear the blazers, and they're going to love it. Because the women going to love it when you look good, right? You like little girls, you like the little girls, right?
Yeah.
See that? So my guys, they'll probably remember when I used to coach. Remember we used to wear the shirt and tie? So they say, Coach, man, why we gotta wear a shirt and tie? So I had to con them a little bit. I'm like, man, the girl's gonna love you. Just trust me once. What happened?
They loved it.
We are winners. Are we winners? Did we win? Did we win, Twine? We will win. We don't tolerate losing. Who's number one? We will not lose. All we need is help. We need help from the community to help. All we need is assistance. I'm going to give you some quotes. Never give up. Failure and rejection are only the first step to succeeding. That's Jim Valvano. There are only 2 options regarding commitment. You're either in or you're out. Pat Riley. Adversity caused some men to break, others to break records. William H. Ward. Do not let what you can do not interfere with what you can do. John Wooden. If it is important to you, you will find a way. If not, you will find an excuse. Ryan Blair. Excuses are tools of incompetence, used to build monuments of nothingness. Those who dwell on them seldomly succeed. We as a community would not make excuses anymore. We would not blame what other races have done to us. It's time for us to do for ourselves and take accountability and responsibility of what we are not doing. We have failed our kids. This is why they're shooting. This is why they're gangbanging, because the adults have failed them. Because you too busy doing everything else except raising your children. And we're giving excuses, and the kids see it. So we need to step up and stop giving excuses. Don't you think a kid sees that? Winning is a state of mind that embraces everything you do. Bryce Courtney. To win, you need to have lost first. That makes you so hungry to win that you will do everything you need to achieve it. Brendan Clark. No man can be a failure if he thinks he's a success. If he thinks he is a winner, then he is. Robert W. Service. Obstacles are challenges for winners and excuses for losers. M.E. Kerr. I think whether you're having setbacks or not, the role of the leader is always display a winning attitude. Colin Powell. Winning is the most important thing in my life after breathing first. Winning next. George Steinbrenner. I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't quit, don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion. Muhammad Ali. Imagination has a great deal to do with winning. Mike Krzyzewski. Winning solves everything. Tiger Woods. You must believe in order to achieve. That's my mother, Lillian West. The day I was born, that's all she preached. You're a winner, son. Her little Carlos could do no wrong. Even when I did wrong, I was mama's baby, and she let me know. You must believe to achieve. And my saying, they'll remember, failure is not an option. Failure is not an option. Because we're what? Winners. Who's number one? Who's number one? Remember we talked about synonyms and antonyms? Yeah. Synonym means the what? Same. Antonym means opposite. Synonym, same. Antonym, opposite. I need it louder than that. Synonym, same. Antonym, opposite. So we're going to talk about synonyms and antonyms, the difference between winners and losers. Winners prepare. Losers complain. Winners study. Losers procrastinate. Winners persevere. Losers blame others. Winners change situation. Losers stay in a losing situation. That's called insanity, doing the same thing over and over that loses. Positive attitude, winners. Losers have a negative attitude. Winners meditate and pray. Losers gossip about other people. Winners exercise. Losers don't exercise. Winners focus. Losers are distracted easily. Winners have goals. Losers have excuses. Winners find a mentor. Losers listen to negative people that don't have a plan. Today we're coming to you with a plan. One team, one plan, one brand has a plan. We have the mentors in place. We have the programs in place. All we need to do is get the funding to make sure that we can take these programs south suburbs, west suburbs, south side, west suburbs, west side, south side, south suburbs, west suburbs. To the people listening, we want to start this in Chicago, but we believe this could work in every inner city throughout the United States and throughout the world. We have people that talk about black and brown, but through my experience, They talk about it to win an election. I've lived black and brown. These are my kids. These are my kids. All these young men up here like my sons. I talk to them, they call me. We've laughed together, we've cried together. I did certain things in the classroom that I couldn't do today. Those of us that play as the fraternity for real know what I'm talking about. It ain't nothing wrong with a little wood action. That's right, I said it. I'm Carlos, by the way. I'm a Phi Beta Sigma, and I'm from Deadly Delta Tau. These are the resources we need. We need money. We need book bags. We need computers. We need facilities. The facilities we need, we want facilities on the south side, south suburbs, west side, west suburbs. Why do we need the facilities? Because we're going to put all the programs right in that facility. So if we have a school, we will put all those programs that I named right in the school. Well, Carlos, who's going to teach the programs? We have program coordinators. So the people are either in that particular profession or they are entrepreneur in that particular business. So we have qualified people to teach all 50 of these programs. So there's no way that they can tell us, well, you don't have people to teach the programs. We have people to teach them and we have the programs ready to go. We need you to share with the community that this has to happen. To the women, the guys that are carrying the guns have to come home. So the mothers, the girlfriends, the wives, the sisters, if you letting them come to your house laying with pistols and you know that they're causing crime in the community, you are part of the problem also. Because I will have, the men, we gonna hit the streets and do something, but the women, y'all gotta do y'all part too. I'm a Phi Beta Sigma. Y'all know these Greek letters they wearing. So if they not helping, you call them out. Why you not out there helping your brother? They doing everything else, right? I'm gonna give you a date, October 10th. You know what happens October 10th? Everybody's going to Las Vegas to watch the Chicago Bears. So if you could go spend how much it costs to get on the airplane? How much the hotel rooms cost? How much you gonna spend gambling? How much you gonna drink when you down there? So if I had to estimate, you're gonna spend about $2,000. So if you could rightfully go to Vegas and spend $2,000 and not come up with money to help them kids, shame on you. How can you sleep with yourself? These kids need us. These women and children need us. So it's up to us as a community to stand up and to make sure that these kids get what they need. I'm gonna do a quick exercise. Come here, boys. Come next to me. When I say attention, we're gonna snap like this. Remember?
Yeah.
Attention. Attention. This time when we do it, we're gonna say one team, one plan, one brand. Attention.
One team, one brand, one brand.
Stand at ease. When I say at ease, our community, our women, our children, our community. Remember? Stand at ease. Attention. One team, one plan, one brand. Stand at ease. Stand at ease. Our women, our children, our community. What do we need? What do we need? Resources. What do we need?
Resources.
What do we need?
Resources.
Who's number one? Go
Go.
show the crowd the number ones on your backs. Let's show them. Turn around. This is about the kids. We have a backdrop of, I was asked the question, well, Carlos, why do you have a backdrop? Because these are stars. We're going to start them early, showing them that they're stars. Once a kid feels good about himself, he could be whatever they desire to be. Through my life, come on back. Through my life working with kids, I learned 5 simple things that you have to do with children. The first thing, they have to know you love and care about them. A little grammar school kindergarten would know if you are BSing them. The second thing is they have to trust you. The third thing is belief. Belief, they have to first believe in you, then I have to teach them to believe in themselves. The fourth thing is structure, and the fifth thing is discipline. So now I'm gonna go to why we have rules. I'm gonna read some of the rules. Okay. I'm gonna go over a couple of the rules. I will love myself and others. I will respect others at all times. I will respect property and belongings of others. I will not argue or fight with my brother. I will raise hand before I speak. I will do my best at all times. I will wear my uniform to all meetings and events. See? But of course they're children, so we need to hold the parents accountable. So when you sign up for the program, this is the parents' responsibility. Parents will read the curriculum, rules, parents' responsibility to sign it. Parents will complete all information. Parents will ensure that they are partners with the program. Parents will ensure that their child will abide by the rules, and parents will have their child on time for meetings. The kids can't drive themselves, can they?
No.
So that means that we have to meet at 10 o'clock. The parent has to have the kid there on time. Yep. Right?
Yep.
Just say it. I need to be here on time.
I need to be on here on time.
I need to be here on time.
I need to be here on time. I need to be here on time.
Who's responsible for you being on time?
Our parents. Our parents.
Our parents.
Our parents.
See how quick kids comprehend? Through the program, we're going to teach the kids love. We're going to change the community through love, peace. Remember the handshake?
Yep.
So we have a universal handshake. Friends have handshakes. Gangs have handshakes. We have our own handshake, so when you see your brother, you come in peace. Come on. Twice. Right? Come up to me. How did that make you feel? How does the handshake make you feel?
Happy.
What?
Happy.
Why?
Because that means love. Okay.
How does that make you feel? The handshake.
I don't know.
You don't know. Come on. How does the handshake make you feel?
Happy.
Why?
Big.
Cause what?
Because it make us.
Take your time. You could do it because it makes us feel like a team.
A team, smarter and helpful.
Very good. Wow.
It makes me feel happy. And why? Because whenever you do it, it means one team, one brand, one plan.
There we go. There we go.
Now remember we talked about the literature by Mr. Browning. Why do you like this book, looking at this cover? Tell them loud. Sit up here, Aiden. Stop moving.
Because the boy in the red shirt looked like me.
Yeah.
Why does that make you happy?
Because I got somebody who look like me in the book.
What does look like you mean?
They just like me. They do the same thing as me.
You better sit still.
And some things we do will help us learn and stuff. When we read, sometimes when, like you said, sometimes when kids look at the book, they don't see themselves in the book. When you see yourself in the book, you feel happy, like you really want to read that book.
That makes sense.
Tell me why you like that book.
I like that book because when you look at the book, you see yourself like looking in a mirror. So when you're reading the book, you feel happy, enjoyable, and you can relate to what's happening in the book.
Oh, relate. What do you mean by relate?
You can imagine the things that they doing and how they feel.
See, my job as the instructor is to bring the best out of them. See the ideas they're coming up with? The kids know this. All they need is us. That's all they need is us. They'll do the rest. How do you guys feel wearing these shirts?
Good.
Why?
Because it makes us number one, it makes us the best friends, and it makes us
Number one.
lovable and number one.
Lovable. Lovable. Who's number one?
I'm number one.
How does the shirts make you feel?
Good, because it symbolizes peace.
Symbolize.
Symbolize peace, love, and harmony.
Peace. Oh, whoa. Stop. He said peace, love, and harmony. Wait a minute. That's one of the skills in the book. Love. What do you mean by love?
That's when, my family, when we get together on barbecues or holidays, that's love. We showing love to each other. Everybody saying, hey, hello, I miss you. I haven't seen you in a while. And then with this peace, it's like sometimes when you fighting or something, you can say sorry and stuff, and it make you feel happy, joyful. And then
we said a key word, family, right? Tell me what you see in your family at times you don't like.
anger.
Loud.
Anger.
What do you mean by that?
Like when my Queenie and my uncle are fighting, I see a lot of anger, dislove, hatred.
Isn't that one of the skills? Hatred. What does hatred mean?
Hatred means dislove. You don't like them. You don't want to be by them. You don't even want to love them.
How does that make you feel when adults show you, when you see hatred with adults?
It makes me feel sad, mad, upset.
Why?
Because I don't like seeing fighting or anything in my family.
So the children had to learn this from somewhere, right? So what adults model is what children follow. So think about all the shooting happening, right? So that means we have done something wrong. I'm gonna end it like this. I would like everybody to stand.
Stand up.
If we can, form like a semicircle, and I want everybody to sort of lock arms like this. If you're comfortable, if you're not, form a circle.
Pick a space and act like we locked.
Act if you don't feel comfortable locking, don't lock. Right here, we gonna lock.
Okay.
Mix it up. Let's mix it up.
That's cool. We got to do whatever you're comfortable with.
Just lock. Connect it right
Connect.
there. Connect. Y'all walk up some. Come up some.
It's got to be connected.
Yeah. Yeah, get over.
Yeah.
There you go. Right there, too. Just like in gym. Lock.
It ain't enough room.
Just keep walking. Keep walking. You can connect. Look here. Keep on walking.
Oh, I see you.
Hook up to that train. There you go.
You know when the circle gets smaller, you get closer.
Come on, Aubrey. You have to like this.
Still locked, right? Ain't locked.
Okay. The reason I wanted us to lock, because I want everybody to see the power of what a community can be. Together we stand, divided we fall. When I say one team, just repeat after me. One team, one plan, one brand. Our women, our children, our community. And when I say what do we need? Resources. 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 Everybody here was brought to this earth for a special reason. So we need you to bring the reason you were brought here together to stop this violence and to bring resources and love to this community. Thank everybody for coming.